I really don't think I could have picked a more perfect place to end off this first trip in China. Of course, I am talking about the stunning old town of Lijiang and the beautiful mountains that surround it, if you can see them poking through the clouds this morning. This is understandably one of the most popular places to visit in Yunnan province, and I would highly recommend that you put it on your list. While you can stay outside of the old town and get a cheaper rate, I would personally recommend staying within the old town so you can get the full historic experience of this beautiful place, and that is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's especially good if you're a morning person because the crowds aren't too big yet. So let me give you guys a little tour as we make our way to my favorite breakfast spot. Believe it or not, but this is the first non-chain restaurant that I have found in a month of traveling China that serves a Western breakfast. Now, you guys have seen me try some local breakfast, and it's great, but I would be lying if I said that I didn't miss Western-style breakfast with like eggs and bacon and all the trimmings. But it's very hard to find. It's very hard to find in China, at least in the places that I have traveled to. You're really stuck with McDonald's. So here they have some great homemade selections. And what's also awesome is that they serve really good coffee that is also grown here. Yunnan province is really the only place in China where coffee is cultivated. How good does this look, guys? We got a veggie omelet with a hash brown. This is just, such a treat after a month of traveling around, and the nicest people work here. So I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a great breakfast place. I almost forgot to mention that this is also a great resource for anyone who is looking for, any kind of advice as far as day trips and hiking. They literally have it on the steps. The lovely couple here can also book any kind of tickets for you, bus tickets or entry tickets. Because if you go to any other tour offices in the city, it's basically just towards a Mandarin sort of audience. And since this is my last travel vlog in China, at least for this trip, I really did want to stress to you guys how important it is to learn some of the local language. While it's not impossible to get around with just English, it would really help if you knew some Mandarin. I started my journey a little bit later than I would have liked, so I'm just now learning, some words and phrases, but I think for the next trip, when I come here, I will know so much more. So if you guys want to learn with the same language learning program that I'm using, I would highly recommend Rosetta Stone. Today's video is in partnership with them, and I have used their program in so many different countries. I have used it for Spanish, for Japanese. I even use it for my Russian at the advanced level to keep it up. And what I really like about their program is that they use an immersive language learning technique where you see, you hear, you do a interactive sort of exercise to really cement in your mind how this language works. They also have a really good voice recognition tool that tells you if you're pronouncing things correctly.
这个男人在喝水。男
Nan,
人
ren,
男人
nairen. So if you're someone who's looking for a more meaningful travel experience and to also learn multiple languages, I would highly recommend Rosetta Stone's lifetime subscription. Getting this package gives you lifetime access to all of their language learning programs, and you're able to learn at your own pace. Right now they are having a very special offer where if you click the link in my description, you can get their lifetime subscription that is usually $399 for only $149. That is a 60% savings and an incredible deal for all the different languages that you get for life. So I'm going to have that link in the description. Would definitely recommend you guys check it out. I'm pretty confident in making the generalization that Lijiang is the biggest old town area that I have ever been to. The only other comparison that I have in my travels is the Gion in Kyoto, absolutely beautiful, but it is much smaller. Like, it is much smaller than Lijiang, and it is much easier to get lost here. I would really recommend you put a pin on your Apple map, since that's usually the best map to use in China, and then also carry a business card of your guest house, so in case you really can't find your way back, you can ask help from a local. Now, as far as things to do in Lijiang, of course, as you can see, there are plenty of different shops to check out. There's a lot of really beautiful cafes. I would really recommend checking out some that are on a rooftop, because then you get a really great view of the city, and if it's a clear day, you may even see the mountains. I'll get to the main day trip out of the city, which involves the mountains, later on in the video, but one thing I would absolutely recommend for both men and women to do in Lijiang is to do as the locals do and rent a beautiful traditional outfit and then have a photo shoot in the most scenic of places. You guys may have seen me do this before in both Chongqing and Chengdu, because the lovely tourism boards wanted me to try out the local outfits there, and I had so much fun. So I thought I would do it on my own here in Lijiang, and I picked a studio that looked especially busy, because I assumed if they're busy, that must mean that they have really talented makeup artists and photographers. So how it works is you choose a look from the different options they have. This is the one that I decided to go with, and for both men and women, they will do your hair and makeup. Of course, that part is not at all traditional, because I don't think they really had makeup 100, 200, 300 years ago. They're obviously doing it in the very modern, very cute sort of look that is popular in China. So I just let them do their own thing, and it actually turned out really cool. After doing a professional photo shoot with their photographer, which I got some really cool pictures out of, I was able to keep wearing the outfit for the rest of the day, and I headed to the most famous park in the city to take some pictures of my own. I am so happy with how my photo shoot went, guys. I absolutely love this outfit. The photographer was also super professional, and I already got to see like all the pictures that we shot. With the package that I chose, you get 5 free edited ones, so I'm gonna get those in about 24 hours to my email. But yeah, this is just such a popular thing to do in China. Basically in every single city that I have been in, at any of the popular attractions, they usually have these like, you know, photography studios with incredible outfits. You get your hair and makeup done. So if you wanted a unique souvenir from your time in China, I think this would be such a great idea, especially in a beautiful place like Lijiang. Where we are right now, though, is a very special place that I would highly recommend you check out, which is called Black Dragon Pool. It's about a 10-minute walk from the center of the old town. You do have to pay about a $7 fee to enter here, but it lasts a week, and this area is just absolutely stunning. There's also not as many people that come down here, so if you're actually looking for a great place to do some pictures, this would be it. I was going to try something new today, but I am really craving my favorite dish that I've had so far in China and that I showed you guys in Kunming, which is cross-bridge noodles. And here we are, guys. How good does this look? If you didn't see my Kunming video, I'll do it once again, but basically it is a sort of cook it yourself noodle dish, and there is a specific order that you put it into the scalding pot. So starting with the quail eggs, I believe they are, you put those in first, and then you put in the meat that is actually raw. So I'm gonna put that in there. This is actually cooked already, but I'll put it in. We got a lovely shrimp. And personally, I like to let those cook for a little bit. And then afterwards, I would add I think some of these are different mushrooms, bean sprouts, some kind of tofu, then the greens, and then lastly, the noodles. They say to leave the noodles until the last. This dish is native to Yunnan province, and it is said that it was invented by a wife that wanted her husband to have like a fresh meal, so she kind of compartmentalized all the different ingredients, and it was only put together when he was ready to eat. All right, and lastly we have the noodles, which are rice noodles and a very different texture and consistency than you would get in, let's say, pho from Vietnam. So we're gonna mix that all together. Looks fantastic. I have to keep the camera kind of close because there's like weird light going on, but let's give you guys a taste test, even though I know I'm already going to really like it. Actually, to be fair, I haven't eaten at this particular place. I had cross-bridge noodles here at a different place, but let's try it here. Oh, I already missed them. It's really good. It's like really hearty. I love the texture of the noodles, and when it's a little bit cool, like it usually is in Lijiang, it's like 5 to 10 degrees colder than the last places that I went to. This is a perfect dish. Unfortunately, I had some bad luck when it came to seeing Jade Snow Mountain because on the days that I arrived in Lijiang, there was a public holiday going on. So for all of those dates, all of the tickets for the mountain were immediately sold out. Keep in mind, I am talking about the main cable car that people want to go on, which goes to a ridiculous height of almost 15,000 feet elevation. You really have to use oxygen at that level, and some people end up getting sick because it is such a shock in elevation, but it's super cool. It's super cool. You are literally on a mountain, and there's also a really interesting glacier you can see. So that's what everybody goes to Jade Snow Mountain to see. But those tickets can only be booked on WeChat. It is all in Chinese, so I had to have the lovely people at N's Kitchen help me book the ticket. The only day we were able to get it was the last day that I was there, and as luck would have it, the weather conditions at the top of the mountain were so bad that they canceled everybody's ticket. Luckily, there is more to do at Jade Snow Mountain, even if you don't go to the very top. There are smaller cableways that take you to really beautiful areas where you can still see the mountain from. I ended up taking one to Spruce Meadow, which was a super beautiful area that, tell me in the comments if you guys agree, really reminded me of Alberta. Obviously, we have spruce trees in Alberta, the valley, the mountains even resembled what some of the Rockies look like to me anyway, and they even had some cattle, or actually maybe they're yaks. I think I saw a sign saying that they were yaks wandering around, so it felt very much like the outback of Alberta and was just such a beautiful area. Definitely didn't expect to see scenery like this in China. Another main attraction of the area is Blue Moon Valley, which is this stunning turquoise lake with a view of the mountains. Unfortunately, it started to rain while I was there, so I wasn't able to wander across the whole area. It is quite big. But if this is a day trip that you really want to do from Lijiang, I would really recommend booking your ticket the night before for the main cable car. That's when it goes on sale at 8 p.m., I believe. If you don't care about going to the top of the mountain, you can just show up on the day and be able to see the other attractions, or at least that's what I was told. And lastly, I would recommend coming as early as possible in the day so you have enough time to see everything. By 4 or 5 p.m., things really start shutting down, and there's only a limited number of buses that go back to the city, so just make sure you start your day early. I told you guys I was busy at night. To be fair, it is also a holiday, I guess, here in China this weekend that I am here. But yeah, there's a very big difference in the old town from the morning to the night. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really had a fun time, and I'm so glad I came to this amazing city. I would love to know in the comments if you have ever been to Lijiang and what was your experience. Once again, want to say a very big thank you to Rosetta Stone for partnering with me on this video. I would definitely recommend them as a great language learning app. I will have my link with the discount in the description. And actually, I realized I did do a little fib about this being my last video about China on this trip. There will be one more as my ultimate China travel guide to really help any of you who are thinking of coming here and some things that you really need to know. So stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sending you lots of love and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye, guys.